I always figured the Texas plains were the last place on Earth where a man could truly own his slice of freedom. No fences in your mind, just wide open sky and dirt that answered only to you. I'd scraped together every dime from my old construction job back in Dallas to buy those 5 acres out near Lubbock, far enough from the suburbs that the only neighbors were coyotes and the occasional dust devil. Painted the old ranch house a bold crimson red, the kind that glows like embers at sunset. Felt like I'd finally escaped the rat race. But then, one scorching afternoon, I spot this neon orange envelope flapping on my mailbox like a bad omen, stamped with violation alert in screaming black letters, claiming I'd broken some community color rules and owed $750 bucks for it. Me, who triple-checked the deeds to make sure no HOA had their claws in this land. I laughed it off at first, crumpled that thing and tossed it into the burn barrel with yesterday's scraps. Out here, rules are for folks who like committees deciding their mailbox height. But deep down, it gnawed at me, like a splinter you can't quite dig out. Someone had driven all the way out to pin that on me, crossing what I thought was an invisible line of respect. A couple days later, I'm tinkering with the carburetor on my beat-up Jeep when I hear gravel crunching. Up rolls the shiny black sedan, and out steps this guy, Brad Kensington, all starched collar and fake smile, looking like he'd never swung a hammer in his life. "Mr. Harlan," he says, clipboard in hand, voice dripping with that corporate politeness that makes your skin crawl. "I'm from Sunny Valley Estates HOA. We've updated our boundaries, and your property's now under our design guidelines. That red paint's gotta go, or the fines stack up." I wipe the grease off my hands, stare him down across the fence, my fence, and say, "Buddy, you must have the wrong address. This land's mine, free and clear since 21. No associations, no votes on my grass length." He chuckles, that condescending huff, like I'm some kid who doesn't get the game. Pulls out a folder thick as a Bible. "Boundaries evolve with growth, sir. It's all here, signed and sealed." I feel my blood heat up. Tell him flat out, "Take your maps and your fines back to whatever gated paradise you crawled from. Step foot here again without a sheriff's badge, and we'll have words, and not the polite kind." He backs off, but I catch him snapping pics on his phone as he drives away, and that's when I know this ain't a mix-up. It's a power grab, pure and simple, because guys like Brad hate seeing someone live free while they're choking on their own bylaws. The itch turns to fire over the next week. I start spotting little signs, fresh tire tracks near my back gate that aren't mine, cigarette butts ground into the sand like someone was staking out the place, watching. Then the emails hit my inbox, anonymous. No signature, just cryptic lines like, "They're fabricating borders, hold on to your deeds, trust nobody, EC." My gut twists. Someone's on the inside, feeding me warnings, but why? Paranoia creeps in. I rig up trail cams, double-check locks at night, lying awake to the wind, howling like it's whispering secrets. And sure enough, one dawn, this buzzing whine cuts the air. A drone, sleek and nosy, dipping low over my barn, then hovering right by the kitchen window like a peeping Tom with wings. I grab my old Winchester, 22, the one I'd only ever used on varmints, and step out, heart pounding but steady. "Get off my land," I mutter to myself, track it for a beat, and pop. Boom. Plastic shards rain down like confetti, one piece pinging off the Jeep hood with a satisfying clunk. Felt good, righteous even, but I knew I'd poked the hornet's nest. Next day, a deputy shows up, young kid with a badge too big for his shoulders. "Got a complaint about destroyed property, Mr. Harlan." I show him the footage, the drone invading my space, and he scratches his head. "Off the record? I'd have done the same. Looks like harassment to me. Lawyer up." That night, staring at the stars, I realized this isn't just about paint. It's about control. Brad and his cronies resenting my independence, maybe eyeing expansion for their cookie-cutter empire, turning wild land into another subdivision where freedom's just a word on a welcome mat. Hiring Sarah Klein was my first real swingback. She's this no-nonsense attorney from Amarillo, sharp as a tack, the type who smells bullshit from a mile away. I email her the deeds, the fake maps Brad waved, and she calls back laughing. "Mike, this is amateur forgery. They've tampered with county records to swallow your plot. Probably greased some palms in zoning to make it stick. We're not defending. We're counterpunching." She digs in, files requests for original docs, and warns me they'll play dirty. Sure enough, whispers start in town, flyers under my wipers calling me a renegade with a trigger finger, Social media posts twisting my cam footage to make me look like a madman waving guns at shadows. Neighbors I'd waved to for years now slowing their trucks to film me like I'm Exhibit A in some freak show. It hurts, you know? I'd come out here to escape judgment, but now I'm the villain in their story. Folks posting, "Keep your kids clear of that red house, guy's unstable." Inner storm raging, I reinforce the gate, but Sarah keeps me grounded. Document it all. They're building a narrative to isolate you, make you seem like the threat so courts side with them. Don't give them ammo. Then the big trespass hits. Brad rolls up with his posse, his slick lawyer Marcus Hale in a suit that screams billable hours, 2 enforcers with tape measures and cameras, and a rent-a-cop with a sidearm marching through my gate like they own the deed. "Compliance check," Marcus drawls, oily smile intact. "Your land's ours now. Stand aside." I count to 10, step inside, grab the Winchester, not to harm, but to warn, rack a round, loud barrel skyward. "You're trespassing. 60 seconds to clear out, or the next one's not a blank." They freeze. The enforcer drops his tape like it's hot. Marcus fumbles his phone, yelling threats. Brad's face twists in fury. "You'll regret this, Harlan." And I fire upward, boom echoing like Judgment Day, birds scattering as they scramble back to their cars, tails between legs. Deputies arrive, watch the tape, nod grimly. They push too far. File that report. But inside, I'm churning. This feud's personal now. Brad's ego bruised by my defiance. His HOA empire built on bullying loners like me into submission. The turning point sneaks up like a storm cloud. Another email from EC. Attachments this time. Screenshots of emails between Marcus and a zoning clerk, Derek Voss, plotting to backdate maps. "Push this quietly, Derek. Stake on me if no waves." My blood boils. Sarah's eyes light up. "We've got collusion." Fraud on paper. Then Ethan Cole shows up at my door, mid-30s, briefcase trembling in his grip. "I'm EC, former HOA contractor. They forced me to scrub originals, threatened my job when I balked. Here's the flash drive, emails, metadata, I'll testify." He's scared, voice cracking but resolute. Turns out he'd seen them swallow other plots, strong-arm widows and vets, all to inflate their power, pad pockets with fines and fees. Sarah files the countersuit. Trespass, defamation, tampering. Boom, subpoenas fly. Courtroom's electric, packed with gawkers. Marcus struts, flashing that grainy gun pick. Harlan's a menace, endangered our team. But Sarah plays the full tape. Ethan's testimony lays bare the forgery. Derek's deposition seals it. Hale bypassed me, logged in himself, illegal as hell. Judge Ramirez leans forward, voice like gravel. "This isn't oversight, it's corruption. HOA pays Harlan $150,000, reforms boundaries, or face dissolution." Brad slumps, pale as a ghost. Marcus stammers objections that fall flat. Walking out, sun hitting my face, I feel the weight lift. Not just victory, but vindication. I'd held the line, exposed their greed. All 'cause one man's stand rippled out. Weeks later, I fire up the smoker for a Liberty Luau. Ribs sizzling, neighbors rolling in with coolers and stories, folks who'd shunned me now clapping my back, sharing laughs under the stars. Even the new HOA prez, Chris Dalton, shows up, sheepish grin. Boards flipped. We're ditching the power trips, focusing on real community, not control. We toast, movie flickering on the barn wall. And for once, the planes feel neighborly without the chains. But here's the thing that sticks with me. Did I go too far with the gun? Or was it the only language bullies like Brad understand? In a world where lines blur between freedom and order, who's really the villain when communities turn toxic? What do you think? Ever tangled with an HOA nightmare? Or seen justice bend the wrong way? Drop your stories in the comments, hit like if this hit home, and subscribe for more real talk tales from the edge. Let's keep the conversation going. Your take could spark the next big stand.